Low cost and effective, heavy security desktop models can be attached to almost any current desktop by an experienced computer technician in about 10 minutes. As in the laptop model, the desktop model's space-occupying base mass prevents spinning about padlocked eye-bolt threaded insert complexes. A tightly spaced aluminium extrusion strongly unites a reinforced concrete base and a computer base. Within the aluminium extrusion lie 2-ton threaded inserts and bolts, connecting the extrusion to the concrete base. Also lying within the extrusion are more delicate yet effective security-shaped bolts, connecting the extrusion to the desktop computer's base. The heavy security desktop system sits under most work desks and provides not only security but other benefits. Such benefits include improved ventilation, improved cooling, internal dust reduction, and elevation may improve resistance to water damage. Regarding how the desktop model looks. The desktop model can be adjusted to provide a free floating appearance, wherein the desktop system appears to float in air when viewed from the front and top. Sometimes the best look is an invisible one. Heavy security is best installed within one base length of a wall or corner or large immovable object. This prevents spinning about a locked threaded insert eye-bolt complex. Preferably, an eye-bolt or eye-screw is applied to the floor or wall or a large immovable object. The eye-bolts on the heavy security concrete base are padlocked or preferably discus locked to that immovable eye-bolt. If a wooden floor or wall is present, simply use an eye-screw of matching size. For a concrete floor or wall, several options exist after drilling the proper sized hole using a masonry drill bit. We prefer 12mm threaded drop-in anchors. These anchors fit the same 12mm eye bolts that screw into the threaded inserts of the concrete base. After placing the base only, or base and computer, in the preferred location, the appropriate area is marked for masonry bit drilling. A 15mm masonry bit is usually appropriate to drill the hole to receive the drop-in anchor. The drill bit is best marked with tape to prevent drilling deeper than the length of the drop-in anchor. After the proper depth is reached, it is critical that any debris be blown from the drill hole. A drop-in anchor may be rotated or tapped into place. A setting tool, in this case a modified bolt, may now be positioned over the wedge in an anchor and struck with a hammer until immovable. The anchor may be load tested after screwing a 12mm eye bolt into the anchor. The hammer drive anchor, when combined with an eye nut, is another option. After deciding between the invisible or standard stacked look, 2 12mm hex head bolts and large washers are tightened into place to secure the aluminium intermediary structure to the concrete base. With the access door removed, the desktop computer to be secured is placed on top of the pre-drilled aluminium intermediary structure and moved until a desired position is found. A sharp nail, gripped tightly by pliers, is passed through each end of the aluminium intermediary structure until at least 2 convenient holes are selected. The computer base is then scratched and marked. Etch full circular marks in the base while pressing the base of the desktop computer to prevent slippage. The base of the computer may now be drilled at the etched locations. It is best to drill holes 10 to 20% larger than the expected bolt size to be used to bind the desktop computer to the intermediary structure to account for various tolerances. Gently drill into the base of the desktop computer. An obstructive collar may be placed around the drill bit to prevent inadvertent deep drilling into the computer component. Place the fasteners intended to bind the computer to the intermediary structure, including hex bolts, security bolts, progressively larger washers and lock nuts, into a convenient location for use. It is best to use clear tape to bind half the stacks of progressively larger washers. This will help keep the stack of washers on the underside from sliding, coming apart and falling out of order prior to tightening. After completely tightening the lock nuts using the extension wrench provided, the access door may be placed back on the computer. The rear of the concrete base has a bevel with a downward pointing insert to receive a bolt that will attach to floor-based eye-bolt anchor units. The rear of the base also has an insert with a horizontal axis to facilitate wall attachments. Screw a 12mm eye bolt into the appropriate insert in the rear of the base. The computer may then be moved into the desired final position and padlocked into place. Optional swinging internal obstructions rotate in seconds into position following the extrusion binding installations, and may be quickly secured by pop rivets or key-locked in place, thus protecting the bindings from unwanted tampering within the aluminium extrusion. For your next IT security upgrade, choose hardware, not software. Choose heavy security. And please remember, heavy security with the strength of tilt-slab, steel and concrete, and security of common discus and hitch locks, protect your delicate, yet important, computer electronics.